Hey guys, what's up? Here we are with the E6 as promised. I tried doing a full unboxing, and in the process I had some complications. First thing, there was zero battery life on this. I ended up plugging it into a power bank and getting it working, but I ended up struggling with some button mapping on N64, which I still haven't been able to figure out, and it just kind of took way too long with the button mapping for N64. So I decided to just drop that video and start a new one. So I'm just going to show you what we have in here and what we have coming for us in the future. So this is the entry level E6, and it comes with these standard controllers. They come with a 2.4 gigahertz dongle and a USB-C to USB-A adapter. I set them aside somewhere, and at this moment I don't know where they are, but if you're curious about these controllers, they're pretty basic. They take two AAA batteries, and I have a video on the K8 that shows these controllers being used, so you can check that one out if you want. I'm just going to try to get through this one a little quicker because my videos end up being so long. Like I said about N64, the button mapping feature on there is being a little funky, and I couldn't figure it out. Maybe I will be able to figure it out in the future, but I wasn't in this video. There's some strange things. I'll show you what the mapping feature looks like, but from there we're just going to move on to some of the other systems and just kind of see what we have. So we have our 5-inch IPS display. They provide a tempered glass screen protector right here, which is pretty cool. And they sent me the green version, which wouldn't have been my preferred choice. Oh, and just to show you, there's really nothing on the box, on any side of the box. It's just real plain. But I actually turned out to like this green version. It's called Apple Green. And normally I'm kind of a black and whitish type of guy when it comes to my consoles. But recently, as you've seen with like the R36S, I'm starting to get into the more colorful stuff. So I kind of ended up turning out happy that this was the green one. You know, that was the one that they had available for me. And I said, sure, send it over. So it looks a little different than it did in the render. In the render, it was like white up here and it had green on the side, and then the D-pad and the buttons and the triggers were like a lighter green instead of this, which looks like my pistachio ice cream. It looks so good. It's a really nice green with the cream on the D-pad buttons and triggers. So I think it looks really nice. One thing I noticed, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit and just save that light from blocking it with my arms. The thumbsticks are different on one side. On this side, we have one of those kind of similar to a PlayStation thumbstick, but smaller, or my Skull & Co. grip thumb grips that I put on my Joy-Con sticks. But if you look on this side, it looks like a typical Joy-Con style stick. It might be a little smaller, but it has those 4 cardinal direction notches in it, where this one doesn't. So anyway, the I/O, here we go, volume up and down. It's backwards like it is on a lot of these Chinese devices, and I just kind of figured out why. It's because they're designed from old cell phones, or that's what they're intended to be. And in here, it would be up and down. So when you're like this, it makes sense, but when you're like this, it up doesn't feel right on the left. But it is what it is. So that's that. I'm going to start it up now. Actually, before I start it up, let's give you a quick look at the D-pad. Yeah, everybody was questioning this D-pad, like, I don't know about that thing. And I'll tell you, I played a little bit with it so far, and it's not bad. It's not perfect, but it kicks ass in Street Fighter. It works perfectly fine for that. I didn't do the Contra test on it, but I can tell you that I think there are false inputs, false diagonals. When you press down, you got to be a little bit careful with that. Maybe there'll be a tape fix for that. But let's just start this thing up, give you a little idea of what the UI looks like, play a couple games, and go from there. Oh, it started up so quick. Check that out. All right, so we have about half battery left in it. It might have started up from sleep. You know what? I'm gonna turn it off. Show you that's power off. You can't touch the screen, and you can tell it's Android there though. But we're gonna power it off and start it back up just so you can see the full startup time. And you know, I kind of skipped over that, but we got our OTG port here, and we got our power port there, our TF or SD card slot there, and our power button there. There's nothing on the bottom, and we have the ventilation here. I think that's where there's no fan, but It's all ventilation. I think these are the speakers because I think they're backwards firing speakers. But again, I'm smearing up the screen. Just bear with me for this one. I had already pulled the screen protector off in the last video. So I'm pressing power right now. This is how it starts up right here. We got our little GameMax guy, little logo. I kind of like that logo. It's not that bad. So it doesn't take too long to start up. It's not too quick either. It's slower than some of your Linux systems, but once it starts up, it's real similar to like the A390 that I reviewed a while back. If you see the UI here, it's very similar. Let me turn the volume up on this. So as you can see, we have a search feature, we have favorites, and then what is this? Oh, these are the favorites. These are some that I already added to that. What is this then? That's interesting. It's like we have two separate sections here of favorites. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Here's our settings. It's very limited. We have our brightness settings from there. That's its full brightness, and that's how dim it gets. It gets pretty dim. Not as dim as some other devices, but it's good enough. It's in English. I haven't set up anything else on here, and it only goes down to factory reset. That's all you have as far as options go in the settings. I wish one thing this doesn't have that I wish it had is scaling. We need screen scaling, aspect ratio scaling, and it'd be nice to be able to remove bilinear filters. These are some of the things that I'm noticing. So just like before, I'm going to test a couple of the games that I usually would test, and then we'll just kind of go from there, and you guys can ask me questions if you need to. So we have PSP, N64, PS1, MAME, Neo Geo, Capcom System 1 and 2, Nintendo, Super Famicom, or Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, Genesis, Game Boy, and Game Boy Color is in there. I have a Game Boy Color right there too, just kind of interesting the way because if you go here, I'll just show you real quick, Game Boy. Oh, it didn't do it that. You know what? It might have been a different thing I'm thinking of because I clicked on something and then I saw GBC up at the top. But anyway, okay, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Final Burn Alpha. I can tell you there are mass duplicates, and look at how many Street Fighters are in here. I mean, they must know me well, but no, I don't think I need this many. But I'm happy Street Fighter's on here. So not all ROM lists look like this. This is pretty crazy, if you ask me. It seems like this entire one was like all Street Fighter, and then you get down and it starts to get into the alphabetical order here, and you actually have a pretty big list of games that are actually, you know, something that you can browse through and find something you want to play. You just got to get through that massive chunk of Street Fighter first, or maybe go backwards on it. So some of the game lists are not clean. Like, look here, I mean, nothing's in alphabetical order. And it seems like what they did is drop more games on top of a ROM list that already existed, because on a lot of the lists, it does seem like if you move far enough down, it'll start alphabetical order. But none of them indicate the number of games within the system, so I can't really tell you guys that right now. I'm moving by tens through here, as you can see right now, and this stuff is in like a semi-alphabetical order. You can see that there's stuff that's like slipped up in there. But I noticed that some of the systems, see here we go now back into the M's, but some of the systems have much cleaner ROM lists than others. CPS2 shouldn't have too much, but yeah, they have duplicates a lot. So NES, you know, look at that. They're not afraid of Mario, which is cool. You know, I mean, one thing we could do here, because these ROM lists are so sloppy, and again, not all of them are. And a lot of them look sloppy until you get further down, but there's a search feature. So let's just type in Mario and see how many Mario games we have on here, just to see how gangster they are. See that? That was a false input right there. I tried to press up or something. I don't know what happened, why it clicked enter. So let's try that again. So the D-pad's actually not too bad, but it ain't perfect. There's some strangeness about it. It's a circle, so it might be me just hitting the wrong spot. Like that, I tried to press up right there and it went left, so it's not perfect. I think a tape fix would really help. Hopefully this thing isn't too difficult to disassemble. All right, so there we got Mario. And look at all the Mario games. I'm just gonna click OK. Oh, it did it again. It's gonna go into Mario 64. And this is how I started my last video by accident. It just automatically jumped into Mario 64. And I realized how bad the button mapping was in it. I think it's kind of like the A390. It's one of these two is the item buttons. For the life of me, I can't map an item button to the L2 or L1. But since we're here, I'll just show you how Mario Kart plays, just so you guys can get an idea of N64, like a baseline with this game. Don't expect me to play well. I think I'm just gonna kind of run through a lap, and I'll show you real quick what the button mapping feature looks like. So you press M here, and this is where you get your save states and your load states. You have up to 10 of them. But here's your handle controls. You press A, and you have A, B, X, Y, L, R, L2, and R2, and then you have 1 and 2 player. And all you got to do is move, if you're, go down to being second player or first player. And so this is A. I'm choosing to be A. It stays A. If I want it to be B, I press B, and it goes to B. But I'm telling you, as intuitive that seems, it's not working for N64. There's something wrong with this. So I'm just gonna back out of here for now. And I'm not gonna try to map those like I did in the previous video I tried filming. And I'm just gonna show you how it runs and let you see that it isn't scaled correctly. It is widescreen. I do think it has like bilinear filtering going on, unfortunately. But hopefully these things can be fixed in the future. I really hope we can get some scaling going on these. Other than that, it runs well. It's treating B as A right now, so that's good. But because that's what I would use BA for this system. But for some reason, I'm not able to use the L buttons. So let's just see how. Let's just do like 1 lap or half a lap. It's going to be a little glitchy right when you first start. Something's happening funny there. Like, look at that. It's going down, and I'm not pressing anything. I think we might have some stick drift. I'm not sure. We'll have to see in another menu. Oh, I pressed A. That must treat it as back. I pressed. I'm still trying to acclimate to this, but all right, now it worked. Okay, I don't know why it was going down automatically before. That didn't happen last time, but there have been some weird phantom inputs that I've noticed. But let's just see how it runs. Ooh, I got the quick start. And you could use the D-pad on this Mario or the thumbstick. And it doesn't feel like there's any stick drift. But man, I have a hard time with this one. I don't know why. Like something's not right. Like I can't even get my reverse, and you could see that X right now is it's just a mess. I don't even want to mess with it. I'm wasting too much time. So you can see this got me pretty frustrated, and I just want to exit out of there right now. We'll figure out N64 later, but let's just do something like PS1 and check it out. I'm not going to go through all the games, obviously, because you see how they're listed, and it's just going to take too long. But you know me, I like Crash Team Racing, so let's try a little Crash. Hopefully, someone could get that 4:3 aspect ratio. Maybe some filters for like Game Boy. That's another thing. Game Boy is stretched all the way, and that's just not cool. Maybe the developers can also, or the manufacturers can put out a firmware update, because there is the OTG port, and I saw on the settings that there is a firmware number on it, so maybe they can update that and fix some things and add at least aspect ratio. Nobody wants to play, well, maybe not nobody, but I don't want to play Game Boy games which are supposed to be almost square in a 16:9 aspect ratio. But this seems to be mapped correctly. Everything, I don't know about everything, but PlayStation seems to be mapped correctly. And this thing is pretty cool. It's comfortable. The buttons feel good. They're not the best, but they feel good. These buttons, they're not too loud. They're real quick, trigger presses. They're mechanical buttons. It's comfortable in the hands. You have a little bit of a gap between your palm and the buttons and the D-pad, but it's honestly not bad. So L2 works as, see, everything's mapped mapped properly here. It's just N64, and that might be because even they are confused with N64, because even on other systems, I get confused with N64 emulation sometimes. It's not one of the damn it. It's not one of the easiest systems to emulate, but just being that it seems like the L1 and L2 are kind of acting as the left stick in some way or another, and I can't seem to map my item button to the Z button, which I would treat as L2. You've seen it in other videos if you watched them before. But yeah, my Crash Team Racing is working flawlessly, and I think pretty much all PlayStation is going to work flawlessly. You're not going to get everything in PSP to work flawlessly. God of War is in here, and I played it in my previous video test, and it's exactly like it was on the XU10. The sky is completely missing, and the orbs that you acquire when you kill an enemy, they come in, and other graphical features have these like magenta squares kind of around them. There's some glitches, yeah, and I think it's kind of like a hack that was done so that it could play on these lower powered RK3326 systems, because there's no sky at all, and it was real similar to GoldenEye 007 on N64 when I tested that one out back in the day on the XU10 as well, because it or was it on, I think it was the R36 actually, one of them, but it was missing the sky in the same way, and I guess that's one way to cut down on the amount of performance that it requires, or you know. But anyway, there's Crash, works perfectly fine. I'm just gonna quit. So to quit the game, you just press M in here. You can save your state. I'm not gonna bother with that. Exit the game, and I'm pretty happy with this little thing. I really hope that down the line we get that scaling and remove the bilinear filtering, please. See, there's God of War. I'm not going to bother with it. It takes too long with the intro. You can't really skip it. But I want to show you, this is the only system on here that's going to utilize this screen perfectly. And the games that you're going to be able to play are not going to be heavy hitting games, but you know, I'm just going to try something. Oh, there's Pac-Man Championship Edition. Let's just do that again. I like this game. Okay, so let's see if it's mapped correctly. X to continue. No. It's treating triangle as X. It's like I don't even want to mess with it right now, but let's just see. I'm not going to take too long on this right here. Handle controls. Oh, why does it have A marked as X? Okay, A is A, B is B. Okay, oh, that's why, because it's trying to do PlayStation. But so A should be triangle, but if this is treating this as A, then that should be B, I would believe, and that should be, that should be A, and then that one should be Y, and that one should be X. Is that right? I'm not sure. B A B B A X Y Y X. It seems like that should be right, because that's the opposite of Nintendo, and that's what PlayStation would be. So let's just play. X. No, that didn't work. See, even after I change it, X is still being treated as X up there. There's something about the button mapping that is a little bit confusing for me. It's reading the letters, not the PlayStation symbols. But as you can see, we got some PSP on here, and I have faith that all the button mapping issues will get ironed out. I'm pretty sure that, you know, this company has been working hard to put this thing out, and they delayed it multiple times to try to iron out some software issues, and they've even put in their listings that this is kind of an entry-level device, and that the next one will be a touchscreen. I think it might even be a more powerful chip, which would be kind of cool. But I'm going to talk to them about seeing if they can do something about scaling, and either figure out on my own what the heck is going on with that button mapping, or get it fixed somehow. hopefully the community can work on this. I know most of this stuff is like Linux based, but I think the Linux based stuff is easier to develop for, but I really hope that this device can get the love that like the SF2000 gets, because you know it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot more comfortable, it's more capable, it can play a lot more. And this is basically the same as an R36S, it has the same chip, but it's a horizontal form factor and it's actually really comfortable. I like it. So it's a little annoying that those two sticks are not matching. I don't know what the reason behind that is, but this is like one of the first units, I think. All right, and you know, I'm sure that like maybe the second wave of orders that comes out, all the little things that are wrong with it will hopefully be ironed out. But I can't complain. I appreciate them sending this to me for review, and I'm still keeping it real with you guys. You know, it's not perfect, but it's not terrible either. I'm not really even sure what to test, because you've seen, you know what can be played beyond PlayStation or below PlayStation, but I can show you how Game Boy is just, it's not ideal. I mean, nobody wants to play super widescreen Game Boy when it's supposed to be nearly square. I'm trying to find something worth. I wish I could find like Tetris on here, but nothing's in order. Let's just do some Tiny Toon Adventure to see how that goes. Yeah, look at that. And I wish on here that the loading status. What is that? Oh, I saved state. Whoops. No. Yeah, so that it doesn't seem to be any option, unfortunately, for scaling. It'd be nice to get the filters too. On Japanese. I think that's going to be a lot of the games in here might end up being, well, as you've seen, there's multiple regions, so what am I doing here? Come on. So there's probably a lot of American games as well, so let's just make sure all the, is it being treated as turbo? No, but okay, A. Look at that. So we had Y working. I think I threw all my carrots that I had, but it's Y and A. Y and A are being treated as B and A right now. So, I mean, it kind of works because you don't need a. You could ignore B, but let's see if I can change that. This is what I didn't want to do in this video, is all this trial and error. But I'm gonna see if I can switch Y to B. So we're gonna go to Y, and we're gonna make it B, and we're gonna go to B, and we're gonna make it Y. I might be confused. I'm kind of confused as it is, but yeah, there we go. I think. No, wait. I don't know because I don't have any carrots. I don't remember how to play this game. Whoa! Give me a carrot so I can figure out what my other button does. And a little slow for my taste. I should have done like Buster Bust Loose or whatever. Nope, nope. Alright, so B is jumping, and so is Y. Interesting. But now A is doing nothing. So I got some work to do in figuring out the button mapping. I'm not going to try to say I completely understand it right now. It seems so straightforward and basic, but I don't want to waste the time in the video. I just want to show you what this thing has to offer and where its shortcomings are. In the future, hopefully that stuff will get fixed. We have our Game Boy Advance. If stuff was in order, I could find something. Let's just try a little F-Zero, even though I'm not. Actually, you know what? Let's try a Super Famicom F-Zero, because I know that one a little better, and that one, I'm not sure if Game Boy Advance or Super Famicom is going to be harder. Which one is harder to run? You know what? Here's Street Fighter 2. I'm all over the place, you guys. I know it, but we know we want to test the D-pad, so let's do it. It's going to be stretched. Sorry about that. I'm going to map my buttons really quick. Alright, so that was no problem. It is the Japanese version, but that's fine. There's like 1,500 Street Fighters on here, so I'm sure I could find one in English if I needed to or really wanted to. Alright, let's see the D-pad. Let's see how it works. Let's see if it has diagonals, if I can jump properly, if I can shoot fireballs, do dragon punches. No problem. Let's get him. See, I didn't get my Shoryuken, but I remember you got to be a little bit more deliberate with your downs like that. Yeah, I knew he was gonna get me with that blade kick. But yeah, the D-pad works. The D-pad works great for Street Fighter, at least. Play a couple rounds here. Let's get the Shoryuken. Ah. The Shoryukens take a little bit more effort. Oh man, he got me with the suplex. He sounds like a teenager in this one. Sonic Boom! Doesn't sound like he did in the arcade. Alright, but I gotta pull off some Shoryukens. I gotta show that it is mostly my fault that they're not coming out. Acclimate to the D-pad and you'll be able to do them anytime. Well, I always get the harder players first. I haven't done a few of the moves. Alright, come on. What the heck? Trying too hard. Seriously. It's rare that I get it perfect on Fei Long. Alright. Spamming. Oh, it didn't work. I was going to try to spam the short all-you-can. I used to call them all-you-cans as a kid. Oh, you can. Oh, you can. One more game. One more match. I'm having fun. Sorry, guys. Feel free to fast forward. Trying to think if there's anything else to test after this. Really, it's just kind of just a showcase video, so I might do another video once if I can figure out how to improve the button mapping and stuff like that, I'd be really happy. And I'll do another video just to show that, because I don't want people to, you know, decide not to get this for something that can be remedied. And so far it seems like it's N64 that is the problem with the button mapping. Other things seem to be okay. Scaling is important to me. It's not important to everybody. Some people like to fill the whole screen regardless. They just want that real estate. But me, I like my chunky pixels. I don't like that bilinear filtering, and I like things to look the way they did. I even like to put like scan lines on the older systems, like arcade games or CRT type stuff. He might beat me in this one. Nope. Alright, so there we are. Street Fighter 2 works perfectly fine. So this is not a bad device. The plastic is solid. It feels good in the hands. The buttons feel nice. It doesn't feel like it's getting overly hot. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery and IPS display. I think it's a pretty cool device. It just needs a few little kinks to be ironed out. And this is the entry level one, so I'm excited to see what the next one has to offer. But I think I should call, you know what, before I call it for here, let's find Contra and just do the Contra test out of respect for Mr. Russ himself. Okay, so the search feature, I'm just gonna do it that way. I was trying to press up there and it went to the left. So do we even really need to do the Contra test? Do we not have regular Contra? Yeah, we gotta have it. It's probably gonna be 15 of them. That looks like it. Oh, 24 in one. We'll just do that. That's fine. And you know what? Scroll down just for a second to see. There it is. Let's see if we can get. Oh wait, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Sorry, I want English. I apologize. I'm just gonna go back to see something. Oh, my thumbnail hit the thumbstick right there, and it made it move down. That wasn't like a false input. Should I just do the 24 in one? How many Contras do we have? Okay, 3 of them right here. I'll try the second one. All right, up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Or is it B, A, B, A, start? This isn't even the right one. I'm gonna get out of here because I'm just gonna go 24 in one. I can't remember if it's BA, BA or BA. I think it's BA, BA. Oh, see, I pressed OK. I shouldn't have done that. Oh man, I am failing on this one. Last time. So you don't press, once you see your search results on the right, if you press OK at the bottom, it's gonna choose the game that's at the top. It's gonna choose the game that's at the top and go straight into it. That's what it did with Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart 64. So just keep that in mind. Instead, like right here, I press Contra. If I press OK, it's gonna go into the Contra adventure. So just go out of it like that, and then you're in here. So just press to the right. It's just gonna go 24 in one, and we want Contra. So let's just see if the code works even. Why isn't it? Do I have to press start? Yeah. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, B, A. I think it's BA instead of BA, BA. And I should know that. Come on, Nick. All right, so here we are. Oh, that does not fare well. It's not too bad. It was. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll let you guys decide on that, but it's a circle pad, so it's really kind of a hard one to test. But let's just see these diagonals as we run. They work fine. Yeah, we're good with that. I never make that. I always want to try to stay up there. So the diagonals work, no problem. Those false inputs are there. Yeah, they're there. Just like right there, I tried to hold down and I started running forward. I hate this one. Yeah. I hate this gun too. This one's so stupid. I don't know, maybe it is powerful, but it's just annoying. I like spread. Where's my spread? Oh, I should have known. I'm just gonna, yeah, there's some definite input issues with this D-pad. Hopefully the tape fix will solve it. That's what I want. No, go away. I should have just... Don't die right now. I should have just picked the one that has perma spread. Just gonna ignore those ones. All that effort for nothing. Alright, so we're gonna get out of here. I don't mind making myself look kind of stupid sometimes. PSP. I know we've already tested PSP games and we know what the Arcade 3326 can play, but oh, there's Tetris. Let's try it. I know I already did Pac-Man, but Tetris is just calling me. After this, maybe I'll do just a quick little run in like Streets of Rage or something, Mega Drive, and then and we'll call it from there. It's already a 36-minute video. Intros take too long. Come on, press the cross button. See, it's not. It's treating the X as the cross button. Again, I'm not going to try to figure out the mapping in this video because it's just wasting so much time. I just want to see how the dpad functions. Yeah, it's treating X as triangle. Okay, so all right. Do we have a hold? Yeah, we do. Okay, cool. We have faster ops. All right, I like this version. Oh, see, bad D-pad. Well, I don't want to say bad, but not great. It's a circle pad, so those kind of mistakes can happen, and it happened again right there. And I'm also doing hard drops. If I wasn't doing hard drops, I wouldn't have as much of a issue. Like just pressing down. Let's see, because my other video, I had a problem when I pressed down, it would move the pieces to the side. No, it's not happening here. But when I press up, it seemed like I was sometimes hitting to the left or the right on my hard drops. Like that right there. I think that it's just a matter of there's not much to go on when you're feeling this D-pad to know exactly if you're at the top of the circle. The more I play, the more I'll probably I did it again. I don't know what happened there. But things are working here, and it's actually fun. No, the thumbstick doesn't work. But that's a problem. See, I tried to press right there, and I got a hard drop. So it's just one of those things. Looking forward to a tape fix. Oh, yeah. Pressing right and getting hard drops. That's not a good thing. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm glad I tested it to show you guys. And like I said, I want to keep it real with you. Just because people are sending me stuff doesn't mean I'm going to be lying to the people I care about most in this whole gig right here, and that's you guys who are watching. So it's not a perfect device, and if it gets any better, I'll let you know. It's a pretty cool device, but it needs work. If you're into everything under PlayStation, it's pretty cool. Alright, I'm about to just crash out. Alright, you guys, let's get out of here. Maybe I'll do another video in the future once I've figured out the button mapping, because obviously it seems super straightforward, but it's not, and I don't understand. Like A, X, B, Y, X, A, Y, B. I don't want to take the time to troubleshoot it right now, so we won't bother with that. I'm trying to think, is there any last things I need to... Oh, you know what I want to show you? Let's take a look at these little LEDs. I'll turn the light off. They're kind of cool. I actually like the LEDs on here. They're not overly bright. And, you know, while I'm in here, I guess I can do the brightness settings as well. And we can see how that fares. Okay, so it's at full brightness right now. You can adjust the brightness of the LEDs. That's kind of unfortunate, but at least they're not super bright. They're not glaring in your eyes like they are on those the D9, or I mean the D8 telescopic controllers. But let's see how dim this will get here. So there we are. I have to tell you that this, I'm shooting with the Samsung S23 Ultra, and it has a low light feature, so it's picking this screen up so bright, and these, but when I look down at it with my eyes, this screen is super dim. It's nowhere near as bright as it's being picked up in this image right here, and these are also glowing like way brighter than what I'm seeing here. They're like haloing on the image, but yeah, they're still a little bit brighter than they would want to be if you're hanging out and you're chilling in a dark room or you're in bed with your spouse. The screen is okay, but it kind of defeats the purpose with these. Your hands are kind of covering them, so there's that. But other than that, it's pretty cool. And you could see here, take a look at the screen. It is an IPS display. It's not the best IPS display in the world, but all angles, it works. So let me try to find the buttons to these lights here so I can give you guys a proper goodbye. All right, so my first video was about an hour long. This ended up being 40 minutes, way longer than I expected. So I apologize for making these long videos for those of you who hate fast forwarding, but it is what it is. I appreciate you guys watching. Do me a favor, guys. If you got something out of this, give me a like. I could use it. I'm getting so many more views than I am likes. Like, I mean, 99.9% more. It'd be pretty helpful for me. So if you don't like it, don't though. And I have no problem with that. I appreciate you watching the video. So that's it. The E6 GameMT. I'll have links in the description. Any updates I get, I'll make sure to let you guys know. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.